and today's session will be moderated by Khairul Samar. So today's session will be one of the interesting sessions where you can ask frankly your questions about research and all. Let us first have the session as per our routine. Then at the end, you know I would like that all the participants will ask important questions rather than simple questions. And I request you all keep your mic mute, so we should not have any disturbance. So it is better if you are having any doubt, you can raise your hand or ask in chat without any disturbance. But at the end, you will get ample time to ask your queries and all. And at the end, we will be having feedback session where you will be given opportunity to share your feedback. So let me invite our moderator. Kindly go ahead and start the session. Thank you very
Uh,
much.
Thank you, Dr. Firdaus. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
On behalf of Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the last session of 7 days online workshop on research methodology in econometrics, organized by Jindal Center for the Global South, the Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association, and Global Research South Research Foundation. I'm Carol Summer, and I'm currently pursuing Ph.D. in economics from Islamic University of Science and Technology. First, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guests, resource persons who have graciously agreed to share their expertise with us. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all the participants who have joined from us from various places. Over the next 2 hours, we will be delving into the key components of effective research, research design, data sources, and publication strategy. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce our distinguished resource person for the session, Dr. RAZZAK JANJUA. Dr. Janjua is a distinguished finance and compliance professional with over a decade of experience in the financial industry, having served with reputed institutions such as Bank, MoneyGram International, and BNP Paribas. He currently serves as a compliance officer at TMF Group and as a lecturer at WSP University in Poland. He holds a PhD in international relations and has a postgraduate diploma in compliance. Dr. Janjua is also a prolific academic, having co-authored a book on corporate social responsibility, edited a volume on integrating blue-green infrastructure into urban development, and published over 50 research papers. His contributions have earned him wide recognition as a thought leader in both compliance and academia. We are truly honored to have him with us today. With that, I now hand over the floor to Dr. Janjua. Please continue.
Thank you so much, madam, for this. And first of all, thank you so much, Dr. Firdaus, for inviting me over here to share my thoughts and to share my some research experience. So first of all, I would like to tell and explain few things over here today. I am going to share my practical experience along with the practical knowledge, along with the practical challenges which I have faced in my research journey. And my simple contribution and my simple way of explaining all those things will be like this, that I'm not going to just read the slides. I'm not just going to read the things from the presentation and just moving so much forward. No, not at all. I'm just going to explain each and everything in a detailed way with the practical examples which I have faced, the challenges which I have faced, and how I overcome those challenges in my entire journey of research, and moreover, in my entire journey of professional and corporate experience. So I am also going to connect the dots, how we can use our practical research experience in the corporate sector as well. And I will try to explain each and everything in a detailed way, that how we can technically use our academic and research oriented knowledge in a more practical way. So this will be my today session, to be very honest, will be as like a my lifelong journey of research and practical experience which I have gained. So let me share my screen and just let me know if it is visible. Sir, is that visible to everyone?
Yes, yes,
Okay, and when I'm scrolling, it is moving forward, yes?
yes, yes.
Okay, so my today topic, from concept to the contribution, facing challenges, unlocking opportunities in thesis research. So practically speaking, all of us, we are over here, including me, including Dr. Ferdos, even including all other professors who are sitting over here who already completed their PhD. Definitely, they are writing a lot of research papers. So I'm just going to share my challenges. I'm just going to share my contributions. I'm just going to share that how I overcome all those challenges and hurdles in my overall research. Either it is beneficial for the thesis writing, thesis research, and also it will be beneficial for academic research paper. So this is like a blend mixture which I'm going to share over here. So agenda. So let's start from the introduction. Let's start, then we will proceed with the identifying the research topic, gaining the material for the research, conducting the literature review, common challenge in the thesis development, or you can say common challenge in writing a paper, strategies to overcome the challenges, and conclusion. And even in those challenges and strategies, research design, and even the data, everything is already included. We are going to discuss in a while. And moreover, I really want this session like a participative. If someone have a question, just raise the question, just ask the question, because one thing I learned from a very good researcher, and he told me once, the world is in the favor of bolds. If you really want to do something, if you really want that this word is in your favor, so you have to be bold. And I always say in my every session that I don't like human meat, so I'm not going to eat anyone. We are here to discuss. So whatever query you have, whatever question you have, just ask. If not now, so then when? So let's start. Introduction. Identifying a research topic, gaining the material, conducting a literature review, common challenges, and strategies. The first word which is coming from in my mind from this all this slide, what is the research? What is the actual meaning of research? That is the most I would say the deep word and challenging word for everyone. Like, what is research? Why I need to do the research? Why all the word like the scientists, the word critical thinkers, why they are doing research? What is the benefit of this research? And one common question is usually coming in the mind of every individual around the world who is even studying in the university. And this question is that every research is already done. We already in the highest approach of medical field. We are already in the highest approach of scientific field. computer, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So is there is a still room to doing a lot of, is there is a still room of doing research? So the answer is yes. There is a lot of big room, big gaps still exist for our research. Okay, now let's combine the word. What is the meaning of research and search? Okay, right now we are sitting in the 30th July 2025, and I already search, or Dr. Firdaus already searched me from the internet 5 years back, 6 years back. I already communicating with him, and somehow I already know everything what's going on around me, what's going on around me. Like in a journal way, if we want to understand the word search means something is already discovered, something is already achieved, something is already comes out. This is the meaning of search. I already figure out something. But now when I am going to combine re with the search, it's going to become the research. So it's mean in the research, we are refiguring out, we are rediscovering, and we are re-evaluating, we are rechecking, we are re-overlooking any phenomena and any aspect. So this is the technical meaning of research. Things are already discovered. We are sitting over here. But once I am going to check the phenomena of that aspect again, like the rechecking of that phenomena, so that phenomena is known as research. Giving you the best example from, like, even if you will just go onto the World Bank website, even you will just look on the United Nations website, we can easily find out a lot of economic concepts which are in progress from more than 100 years or 150 years. Last time I was just checking a one research journal which is more than 100 years old. So I was just shocked that the research publications are available on this journal more than 100 years. So phenomena are still existing from more than 100 years. But a lot of people, things are already searched, but a lot of people, they are checking those phenomena again, and checking those phenomena again is known as research. So that is the actual meaning of research. And a lot of phenomena in this world, they are on the daily basis emerging in our world, and we are working on them. One more best example, ChatGPT just launched like a 2 years back or a 3 years back, and just like 1 month ago, MIT University or Stanford, they just published the research based on the ChatGPT, that what is the impact of ChatGPT outcome on a person thinking who is using ChatGPT, and a person thinking who is not using the ChatGPT. So see, within a 2 years, something is already searched, and they did the research to checking the phenomena, what is the outcome of that particular searchable thing, which we already search, which we already make, I mean, artificial intelligence. So there are a lot of topics exist in the field of research. For that, we really need the young researchers. For that, we really need the people to contribute their thoughts and to contribute their aspects. regarding thoughts and aspects I'm just going to discuss in a while. Then we already discussed the word research. Then we are going to speak about the research material, literature review. What is the meaning of literature review? I tried to explain in a detailed way, common challenges and how we can overcome those challenges. So identifying the research topic. Okay. So before going to this slide, I just would like to go very quickly on a one slide, which is like a 10th or 15th slide. And the reason why I keep this slide in the middle and I want to explain this in the beginning. So I'm just going to explain in a while. So critical thinking at 360-degree. Okay, what is the meaning of critical thinking? Even if you will just look on this picture, there is a one person, and this one person, I'm just show the mind of that person, and then I just show there is a circle, and the angles of this circle is 360-degree, and which is a basic mathematical term. So the meaning of this, our mind, human brain is a very complex and it is very dynamic in nature. It is very complex and it is very much dynamic in nature. So if we want to do any kind of research, if we want to do any kind of search again, which is a research, we always need to think the aspect in a 360-degree angle way. 360-degree angle means we need to think in every direction. We need to look in every direction of this fact and this phenomena. And once we start looking this phenomena in each and every direction, then technically curiosity increase in us, and curiosity, once the curiosity increase in us, so automatically we are start connecting the dots, and we want to give the answers of a lot of questions. So once we start thinking critically in a 360-degree way, so automatically our mind start empowering a lot of things, and we can think in a lot of multiple directions. Now question arises. Question: what are the multiple directions and how to answer these multiple directions, how to answer those multiple phenomena, how to answer those things which we figure out in our critical thinking. So those things are actually the aspects which are from curiosity to the clarity, which are from curiosity to the clarity. Let's suppose we have a one phenomena in our mind, and I just start thinking about this phenomena critically. So my first question should raise in my mind, okay, about who, what, when, where, why, how. And I'm going to explain in a while why those questions are matters. For example, I will give you the practical life example. Uh, let's suppose we are there is a one aspect. Let's suppose give the example of the poverty. Uh, Poverty is a word we are all the time listening all around the world. Um, uh, a lot of people are poor. Okay, poverty is the big issue. Then inflation is the big issue. So let's focus on the poverty. And why I take the example of the poverty, because this is the thing which all of us who are sitting right now over here, this is the first thing which all of us aware of from the beginning of our life. Example, when we were in the school, when we were in the third class, fourth class, five class, our parents, they are just trying to explain us, they don't have money for certain things in our neighborhood. This one is rich, this one is poor. If you not work hard, you will not get the job, you will get poor. So this is, I always say in my every session that the poverty is that much basic phenomena that everyone knows about this phenomena, and poverty is existing all the time. It's existing all the time, and everyone is aware of this phenomena. So now, let's suppose from curiosity to the clarity, we are taking the example of poverty, and we are thinking about poverty in a critical way, because just in the previous slide we are speaking about the critical thinking. We need to think critically why something is happening, why something is matter, and we have to think in every direction. So let's think about poverty in a critical way. So question, first question, who suffer from the poverty? Who are the poor people who suffer from the poverty? This is the first question assumption. Okay, and who are affected by the poverty? Who are the poor people? So this is who, like in this word, who are the poor? Like if I will go in the more detailed way, every phenomena in this word, either by the people or for the people. Every phenomena in this world, either by the people or for the people. Like we are doing medical research. Why we are doing medical research? Who is get benefited from the medical research? We as a human, as a mankind, we are going to get benefit from the research. So the first question for the poverty, who are the poor and who are affected by the poverty? And and the second question for poverty analyzing, what is the definition of poverty? What is poverty? And what is the scope of the poverty? What is the definition and what is the depth of poverty? Example, depth of the poverty. What is the depth of the poverty in African countries, and what is the depth of the poverty in Scandinavian countries? Two different things. Same phenomena, but two different jurisdiction. Who are the poor in who are poor as per definition of India, and who are the poor as per the definition of Denmark government, and who are the poor as per the definition of Australian government? Same phenomena, but two different jurisdictions. Then when poverty arises, when poverty happen, and when we can overcome the poverty, same phenomena in different places. When poverty arises, like just yesterday there is a tsunami hit in the Russian peninsula, and I'm pretty sure this tsunami also hit a lot of coast in the North Korea, a lot of coast in the South Korea, a lot of places in the Japan. Same tsunami, but a lot of people suffer in a different jurisdiction in a different way. So this is the critical thinking. Same tsunami have a different impact in the Russia, same tsunami have the different impact in the Japan, and same tsunami have the different impact in the North and the South Korea. So same like the poverty have the different impact in the different region. And same thing where is technically associated with the location factor of any phenomena. Where we can observe the poverty. Example, we can easily, I was just looking a small diagram, a small picture regarding Mumbai, and there was a very much good caption on this picture that because here I am here to share my practical experience and critical knowledge, and the caption on the picture was like this, that the picture they took from some this flying cam, something like this, drone cam, and they are showing that same Mumbai, but one side people are sitting on the swimming pool of five-star hotel, and just next to that five-star hotel, next wall, there is a huge slum, same place, and we can easily observe poverty, same phenomena, income inequality in one picture. So what does this mean? A critical thinking, in a thinking from every angle. So see, in one picture, we are seeing every angle. Same society, same country, same city, same temperature, same everything. And we can easily see that poverty is happening everywhere. So uh, next, next question. But why poverty happens? Why does some people are poor and why does some people are rich? This is also the aspect of poverty. Why some people are poor and why some people are rich. Okay. And why some people always stay poor. So this is also the aspect of poverty. And then how we can overcome the poverty, how phenomena, how we can reduce the poverty, how we can face the challenges rises by the poverty. So whenever I'm just sorry, I will maybe use a lot of time wording guys in my presentation because I'm used to do a lot of sessions. So when you guys see that there is a poverty, so you always need to think in every critical way: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And then you can even think in a more critical way. Let me just give you the one more practical how you can say the practical experiment which I have conducted in my class. One day I just went to the class and I asked my students, I asked them that they just didn't able to finish the homework, and I asked them, so do you think you guys really have problem in your life? I asked the question, do you think you have problem in your life? And everybody told me, yes sir, we have a lot of problems in our life, a lot of problems. And I told them, okay, so let me just give you the task. You have a 5 minutes, I'm just drinking my coffee, and your task is like this: whatever problems you have in your life, just start writing the five problems of your life. Whatever problems you have in your life, just point out and highlight five problems in on the paper. This is your task. And first of all, everyone just looking at my face, and then some of them, they just start working and writing down the problem. And trust me, no one even able to write more than 2 or 3 problems. They are just putting a lot of problems in their mind, and their attitude was like this, that they're all the time complaining. So they think that they have a lot of problems in their life. So this is that's what I told, that our mind is so much complex and our mind is so much dynamic. So Whenever we are going to think about any aspect, we always need to think for every aspect who, what, when, where, why, how it is happening. One more example, climate change. Everyone, definitely me, Dr. Firdos, everyone who is sitting over here, our future life definitely impacted by the climate change. Definitely impacted by the climate change. And the biggest reason why we are not just yesterday I was reading one more research interesting phenomena I would like to share over here. One of the most biggest challenge what we are facing right now, that everyone speaking about the climate change, but no one speaking and explaining the climate change in a layman approach. Layman approach mean in a common man approach. Common man in a easy wording approach. And that is the biggest problem with the climate change. You can do the practical small research, practical task for you. For example, if you will just go on the YouTube and just write about the climate change, thoughts about the professors about the climate change. 90% thoughts, 90% presentations, 90% journal conversation is really moving toward the values about the data, about the graphs. And layman, common person who is walking on the street, he really don't know how to read the graphs. He really don't know how the values matter. He really don't know how to critically analyze the carbon emission. He really don't know. You need to explain this thing to him. See the heading of this slide, from curiosity to clarity. You need to explain this phenomena in a curious way by a critical and clarifying style. Like you need to clarify, you need to give the clarity of this. So every topic, any topic which you want to do the research, always go for the critical analysis. And to my research students, I always say one thing. Whenever they are coming up with any research topic, sir, we want to write this research paper. Okay, no problem. Please write who is impacted by this research. What is this phenomena? When this phenomena is valid and when this phenomena is not valid. Where this phenomena is valid. Why this phenomena is valid and how we can overcome the challenges of this phenomena. Just write in one line. When you start writing about in one line about particular phenomena, things are getting more clear in the mind. Okay, so let's move on the other thing. I just forget one thing just come in my mind, which I really, yes, the most important thing. uh I always say to my student that take even 2 days, take even 3 days, take even 4 days, no problem at all, even take 1 month. Sit and relax and just try to figure it out. What is your core interest in the research? I'm explaining again, I'm repeating my word, focus on my word. I always say to my student, sit even 1 month, doesn't matter, but please clearly think, what is your practical research interest? What you really want to do. And before going to the deep, just ask one thing. Does my personality really allow me to conduct this kind of research? This is the first question. You always need to ask, because if you will ask yourself, does my personality allow me to conduct this kind of research? If you will say yes, your personality allow you to conduct this kind of research, go on, then just go on. So this is the most important, I would say, aspect. I can give you the practical example, why I always say to my students that always take time and come out with the phenomena which is really, really, really resemble to your personality. For example, a person who is very much good in mathematics, in statistics, okay, and that person is just coming out to me and saying like this, sir, I want to do the research. What are the challenges of the salesperson? What are the challenges of marketing of that particular phenomena in developing country? And I always asking one thing, do you really have interest in the marketing? Do you really have interest in the sales? Because this phenomena is not matching with your personality. Even I say to my students, take as much time as you want, take 1 month, 2 months, but think which phenomena is clearly associated with your personality. Then carry on the research. I can give you the best example, Dr. Firdaus. Dr. Firdaus did a lot of research on the financial inclusion, a lot of research on the financial inclusion. And even one day, I remember 5 years back, I don't know Dr. Firdaus remember or not, even 5 years back, me and Dr. Firdaus, we were discussing about uh, some problems associated with the beggars. And now question beggars, financial inclusion, yes, they are connecting with each other. So this is the personal interest of Dr. Firdaus. So let's move on. So the thing which I always say to my student, critical thinking, think for phenomena in every direction. When you start thinking about this phenomena in every direction, ask the question, who, what, when, where, why, and how. This is the most important critical questions. I always say to my students, please kindly note down all those questions. Now, once you note down all those questions, let's move on. And then here, here, then you are easily able to identify the research topic. And the first point, which I already mentioned, reflect on the personal interest and curiosity. That's what I said. For this first point, even take 1 month, no problem. 1 week, make yourself relax. Go to the good restaurant, sit over there, drink coffee, drink tea, and just think about the topic which really have interest, which in which you really have your own personal interest. Because research is something like a passion. If you have a personal interest, so you start doing the thing with the passion. Then the second most important thing, explore the gap and under research areas. And I always say to my students, make the core phenomena like poverty, and then just writing down the poverty, who is affected by the poverty, when poverty happen, how poverty happen, what are the consequences of poverty. So once you start giving the answers of those questions, slowly, slightly, we are going to give the answers. We are going to figure out what is the research gap. Then consider relevance and significance. That is also extremely important things which I always say to my students. always say to my student, giving you my practical life example. I am working in academia and I am also working in the industry. And I have seen there is a huge gap in the academia and in the industry. Whatever we are doing in the research right now in academia, to be very honest, it is going to be implemented in the industry after 5 years or 10 years. So whatever research you are doing, whatever interest you have at the moment, try to figure it out that what is the relevance of this phenomena. Poverty, everywhere is poverty. Income inequality, everywhere is the income inequality. Climate change, everybody will be impacted by the climate change. So much significant. Then nowadays, I am working on the political system, democracy, and other system. Everyone's life is impacted by the political system. Everyone. Poverty is also impacted by the political system. Climate change is also impacted by the political system because politics are making the policies. And who are selecting the politics? The overall political system. And see, one more thing which I really figure it out, even political system is directly and also indirectly connected with the corporate sector, with the local businesses. If government making good policies, local business will grow. So we need to identify what is our personal interest. We need to figure out what is the gap, and we need to figure out what is the practical significance and relevance for my research. I always say to my students, if you are writing your PhD thesis, if you are writing your research paper, try to give more and more focus on the practical implementation. Try to give the more focus on the practical problem solving of your research. Only on that time your research will be highly significant. Then balance ambition and feasibility. This is also one of the most important phenomena. uh, Research journey is just like an ocean, and I always say to my student, remember, you always have to swim in this ocean, always and always. So you, and for this swimming you really need to be ambitious, and you really need to be have the flexibility and consistency. Consistency means, I always say to my student, don't plan so much, even plan half page every day, because a lot of students, they are writing their master's thesis under my supervision, and I always say to them, half page every day, not too much. Half page means every day I really need 10 to 15 lines from you. I don't expect too much from you. So consistency. Then review the existing literature, seek feedback from mentor, align with the academic and professional goal. Professional goal is so much important. And reviewing the existing literature. And I always say to my student, whenever you are doing the literature review part, I am again moving you on the same slide. Make small table like this: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And try to fill this table with the literature review. Who conducted this research? Like, who are impacted by the poverty? Write in this part and write down the name of author and write down when this research was done. What are the in this particular research, what are the question raised by the researchers? Again, same phenomena: year right, sample right. When this research has happened, You need to write the relevant time period. For example, any research which is done 30 years back, 40 years back is not valid at the moment. If it is a core research, still valid. But other than that, it is not valid at the moment because we are living in the dynamic world. 30 years, 40 years back, there was no internet. 30 years, 40 years back, there was not open economy concept so much. But now we are sitting in the open economy. So you have to check when this research was conducted, where this research was conducted, why this research was conducted, and how this research was conducted. So same kind of things you need to fill. Who conducted the research? What was in the research? When this research was conducted, where this research was conducted, why it was conducted, and how it was conducted. Regarding how, we are going to speak in a while. So, uh, let me just take you back one more time. Yes. So, review of existing literature, feedback from your mentor. Uh, to be very honest, I have few mentors, some senior researchers, and one thing which I really start doing in my research journey, I start writing down the ideas, I start writing down the concepts, I start writing down the things which are really well relevant for the research. Then, aligned with the academic and professional goals, I can give you my best example, my practical life example. I am working in the industry. I am also working in the university. So at the moment, I am focusing on those kind of research work which can give me some enhancement in my professional career, in my corporate career. So I just joined both things together and stay open to refinement. This is one of the most important thing. Okay, please, 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 I always say to my all students who are doing research under my supervision, be open to the critical evaluation. Be open to the critical evaluation. My practical life example, 6 and 7 years back when I submit my research paper, first of all, I took almost 2 years to write my first research paper. 2 years to write my first research paper. And after 2 years, when I submitted my research paper, it was rejected. It was rejected with a 3 pages of rejection mark. Very much critical marks, very much critical remarks. And I still remember those feeling. I was feeling so much depressed. I was feeling so much disheartened. Oh, I spent 2 years of, I have my job. I was going to university. I was reading from there. And in 2015, I start writing this work slowly, slowly. I learned from the e-views. I did the data analysis and I submitted and it is rejected. Oh, what is this? But now when I really read those remarks, if I just go through with these emails, so these are really critical and really valid points. And I just say to myself, yes, those points really help me a lot to grow in the research. Then uh gaining material for the research. Okay, so start with the university library, because this presentation I usually deliver this presentation at a lot of international forums, in a lot of my research workshops, seminars. So I always say start with the university library. And now question is arises, sir, if we don't have access to the university library, sir, if we don't have access to the uh, like we don't have time to the university, then I say use Google Scholar. You can normally use to understand the concept normal Google Chrome search. You can also use the research academic research databases, which is JSTOR, ProQuest, Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Science. And I also say to my a lot of students, you can technically go to the Springer website, Elviser website, Emerald website. You can just go over there and start looking your topic of interest over there. There are a lot of data available. Handle access issues. It might possible that you are unable to download a lot of research paper. So I always say to my student, you can ask the professors, you can ask your colleagues and other things. And then uh, one most important thing which is mentioned in point number 4, explore diverse source of type. I always say to my students, when you are doing any kind of research, always try to check official government websites, always government statistics, and always try to check what is the official government, you can simply say government thoughts about that particular topic. What is the government observation, government reports? Try to read this. And I always say to my students, it is much more better if you are doing research for your own country. Like, let's suppose I am researcher of Indian tourism. Go to the website of Tourism of India. You will figure out a lot of reports. I am doing like the poverty reports, like doing my research on the poverty. Go to the government websites, government reports on the poverty. You can also use World Bank database. You can also use United Nations databases. Over there are a lot of reports are available. A lot of reports are available. My practical life example, I can tell you that I am into the research field more than now almost 9 years, 9 to 10 years. And to be very honest, just for my own practical research, I bought the printer at my home, and I use whenever I find any interesting report, any interesting paper, I always print out that interesting paper. And I always keep highlighter with me, always keep pen with me. And whenever I get the time, I just start reading it. I just start reading it. It's induced my reading habit and critical thinking habit. And when I highlighted the points, those highlighted points really help me out for finding out the other research gaps and finding out the other research material. Collect original data when needed, stay organized, and expect challenges and delay. Okay. The last point, expect challenges and delay. Practical life example. If consistently, I always say to my students, if consistently you start reading every day, 30 minutes or 15 minutes or even 1 hour research work, you will start doing it exactly for 21 days. This thing is start becoming your habit. Eventually, everyone will going to develop interest if they are going to repeat the task for the 21 days. So I always say to my students, consistency is the matter. Organize your research work, download research paper, print out them, because when you print out them, you don't need to open your laptop all the time. You have your research paper all the time in front of you. Highlight it and read it. And then stay organized. Stay organized means, like myself, practical life example, I am doing right now multiple research projects. So I have multiple research folders in my laptop, multiple research publication in my laptop, and I organize them year wise, which is help me to evaluate those research papers effectively. Then gaining material for research, we already discussed. You can use the best one is the Google Scholar, JSTOR, thousands of academic research paper, ProQuest, Scopus, Web of Science, directory of open access journals. So you can just go over there and you can always search your research work, your research interesting topic. Then gaining the material for the research, here we have something like for science and engineering, uh, IEEE Explorer, Science Directs, PubMed, and these Springer's links. Dr. Firdaus have a lot of books on the Springer, which are related with science and engineering. And here we have SSSRN, and here I will share this presentation. From those data sources, we can gain a lot of research material. Then material for the gaining material for the research, it is here for the law, politics, international studies, business, and economics. And especially we are here a lot of economics students. So I always say to my economic students, be focused and just checking the reports of the World Bank, just checking the reports of the IMF, just checking the reports of your local country published report, because those reports are definitely going to give a lot of practical knowledge from this, what's going on around you, so you can evaluate the things very much critically. Then conducting the literature review, we already discussed. Let me just go more detail. Start with the broad research, broad search. Read widely to understand the key theme, debates, and major contribution. Okay, let's suppose with the poverty. Try to understand the poverty in a broad term. What is poverty? How poverty happen? What is the definition of the poverty in a broad way? Narrow your focus. Okay, let me just focus. Let me just narrow down my focus. How I can narrow down my focus? One, research questions. There are seven seven or eight tax haven countries exist in this world. I'm repeating again a question. There are seven or eight tax haven countries exist in this world. Tax haven, where there is not so much taxes, and a lot of people, they just put money in the tax haven countries, used for the money laundering. A question: does in tax haven countries poverty exist? A question. Now, poverty exists everywhere. Tax haven are the countries where all the illegal money arrives. But the question, does poverty exist over there? Answer is yes. There is a huge poverty exist over there. Reason? Because the illegal money just arrive over there and then just go outbound. And I always give the example, tax haven countries are just like an airport for the refueling. Flight came, flight landed, refuel, and flight go to the other destination. Same with the tax haven. Illegal money come, arrive, next day illegal money go to the other accounts. And this illegal money is not going to be utilized that particularly tax haven country. So that's how you can narrow down the research. Engage critically with the sources. Here, when you are conducting your literature review, I already show where, who did this research, where this research happened, how this research happened, what this research is all about, which method is used. When you are writing down all those points, you can easily write down the weaknesses. You can easily write down the strength of this research. You can easily write down the methodology of this research. Let's suppose uh, regarding poverty, one research is done based on the panel data, and you have the answers. You have all the coefficient, you have the research outcome, and now you want to check, does this answer really uh, validate in the time series data? Does these answers are really applicable for different countries of the world, high income countries, low income countries, middle income countries, or low income countries, or Arabic countries, or based on the geography? So when you noting down all those aspects of the literature review, it will really help you to figure it out, what is the research gap. Identify gaps and trends, that's easily you can do with the table. And I always say to my students, please, whenever you are conducting your research work, try to make your table in the Excel format. It will really help you out. Really help you out for conducting your research in a long-term basis, because you can easily able to figure out the gaps. Recognize functional work. Then this is also the most important phenomena. I always say to my student, one practical aspect you want to do on the research on the poverty. So please figure it out. Who are the top 10? Who are the top 10 researcher in the poverty fields? Who are the top 10 researchers in the medical field? Who are the top 10 researchers in the tourism field? Who are the top 10 researchers in the financial inclusion field? So if you guys are just writing down their top 10 researchers and just writing down their contributions, so you are easily able to figure out what are the trend of the research, what are the hottest topic going on in this research field. And don't overlook recent and lesser known studies. Okay, most important things I always say to my students, whenever you start doing any research topic, always go for the good databases, always go even for the Google Scholar. I already prepared the handouts for my students, how to search materials on the different this. There is a screenshot, there is a manual. And I always say to my students, always go for the current trend. Try to figure out what is going on in 2025, what was happening in 2024, and what is the value added thing is happening in 2025. So you can easily able to figure out what is the trend and what is the gap. Organize thematically, and not just by the source, thematically, the most important things. Organize your research in a theme way. What is the meaning of the theme way? Okay, poverty. Let me just check first the poverty in the developing countries. Let me just check poverty in high income countries. Let me just check the poverty impact on different social problems. Let me check poverty and climate change relationship in a very thematic way. Keep evolving. Keep evolving means update yourself. And you can only keep yourself update if you are really have the habit of reading the research paper and practical example. And I always say to my students, if you keep research paper in your laptop, you can always close down your laptop. But if you print out your research work, the research paper, and this printout, if you will keep 1 day or 2 day in your hand, third day, definitely you will start reading it. Practical life example, because this is something in front of your eyes and your brain start working, and laptop is closed, you are outside, you're not even thinking about your laptop. But just imagine if you're traveling and you have your printout in your hand, you will just start reading it. That's how I develop my practical personal learning habit, that I start printing out a lot of things. And to be very honest, I wish I am able to show my table right now. On my table right now, I can challenge there is more than 50 papers which are available in the print format. I just write it down, the data sources over there. I just highlighted the unique variables for my further research. So this really helped me out. Always print out, I always say to my students. Then, common challenge in the thesis development. The most important thing, thesis development plus research paper writing. I always say to my student, there are a lot of common challenges you will face. Defining a clear focus. A lot of students, they not have the clear focus because they not think the topic in a very critical way, in a 3-degree angle way, and spend 2 3 days, spend 1 week, even 1 month, but need to have a very defined clear focus of my research, what I really want to do, what I really want to do. I can give you the best example, like beggar, which is, begging is a part of financial inclusion, and begging is a social problem. But for example, a country like in Pakistan, begging is just turned to be as like a industry. Repeating again, begging is just turned to be as like a industry at the moment. The beggars, some of the beggars, mafias are working over there. They are earning more and more higher than a lot of people because it's become the industry. And how this industry developed, because of social problems, because of social inequalities. The root cause is the society. So you need to be very much focused. Managing time effectively. I always say to my students, if you want to write research paper, say to yourself, whatever happened, from 30 minutes to 1 hour, I will give to my research. Whatever happens, access to the resources, what is the best strategy? Access for the resources. See, I always say to my student, try to use your time in a more effective way. Practical life example, guys. Whenever I was traveling to my work, uh, 6 or 7 years back, 5 years back, 6 years, 7 years back, when I was writing my PhD thesis, when I was traveling to my work, to my office. So what I was usually doing, I was, I'm just sitting on the tram, train, or in the bus, whatever communication I'm using, and all the time Google Scholar is open in my phone, and I am thinking about the topic and I'm searching the topic, and then I am taking the screenshot of the research paper. Or I remember sometime I was just sharing the link of the research paper in my Facebook. I because I'm just utilizing my time. I'm just going to the bus, I'm just taking the screenshot. And whenever I finish my work, I came back to the home, I just looking on the screenshot, I just open this thing on my laptop, download the paper, print out, and start reading. So I utilize my time in a such way. Structuring the work, staying motivated over the time. Green one, green one. practical life example I am sharing with you. Practical life example. Uh, in the month of April, in the month of May, I was so much busy. I was unable to do exercise. I was unable to do the walk. My practical life example. And to be very honest, I start feeling demotivated. I start feeling that I'm not going to focus on the research, and I start feeling frustrated. And I still remember from 28th of June, or either in the last week of June, I think in the last week of June, I just rejoin my exercise routine, rejoin my exercise routine, and suddenly I start feeling change. Within a 10 days, I feel the positive energy, and I came back again track on the research. And one of the most best thing which I can figure out in doing the walk, practical, it is a practical session. Trust me, whenever I am doing the walk, I am able to think a lot of different research topics, aspects, different things. And when in the evening I'm just sitting in front of my laptop, I'm just start looking around those topics and stuff. So this is my practical life example, because I'm here to share the practical knowledge. I just don't want to read the from the slides. So if you start doing little bit of exercise, practical experience, you will be focused on the research, responding to the feedback. Whenever you are doing research, I told you, you will have a lot of critical feedback. Always open. Okay, sir. Okay, like I am always open. I remember when I was writing my PhD thesis was rejected by my supervisor a lot of times, with a lot of comments. In my first PhD thesis draft, there are more than, I remember, more than 250 comments, more than. And until 6 or 7 months, I was correcting those comments. I just corrected. I just go to my supervisor. He again raised some comments. He again raised some comments. And now, after long time, whenever those my thesis just go in front of me, I just see the comments in the comment section, and I just figure it out. Oh my god, these are really good comments, really technical comments. And every comments, I take every comments as like a productive things. And now, after a long time, I can figure out, actually in every comment there is a huge research gap is hidden in every comment, because my professor just critically evaluate every sentence. And every sentence, there is a behind every sentence there is a story, and there is a gap. Balancing independence and guidance, emotional and mental strains. For emotional and mental strain, if you will just look on the slide in the green, a guy is running and motivated. I always say this is the best ever strategy. And trust me, guys, just 2 or 3 days back, I just messaged to uh, mm, my promoter, my research guru, and I told him that you were right. 3 4 months back I was so much frustrated, and now from last 1 month I am pretty relaxed, and I'm feeling so much motivated just because of my healthy routine. Okay, so strategies to overcome thesis development, research development: start, set, establish, keep, use, don't isolate, embrace, stay, take, keep. Meaning, start with a clear plan. Best life example. Okay, all of us we are using the chat gpt, and I always say to my students, please, I know you are not going to do your assignment by your own self. You are going to use ChatGPT, but try to use the ChatGPT in effective way. And I always say one thing to my students, because when I'm teaching and I'm just saying to them, I know you guys are going to do the ChatGPT. Now I start checking their assignment with Turnitin. And I always say one thing to my students in a very practical way. I say to them, just listen me a practical life example. Let's imagine you are entering in the dentist clinic, dentist room, and next to the table on the computer, the dentist is just checking how to do the root canal for 20-year-old man or 20-year-old woman. And I ask them, are you really going to do the root canal from this doctor? Everybody say no. So that's how I told them. So please don't bring the chat GPT assignment in front of me, but try to use the chat GPT in a productive way. So let's say you already have plan in your mind. You can take the help from the chat GPT. Please make for me 10 basic heading. This is my research topic. 10 basic heading for my this ABC research topic. And now ChatGPT will draft the artificial intelligence draft the plan for you. Copy paste the plan in the Microsoft Word document. And now at least you guys have the plan. Okay, I need to have the abstract. I need to have the introduction. I need to have the literature review. I need to have the methodology, empirical research. Now, one plan in front of you. Practical life example in Poland, whenever any student is going to start writing thesis, we always say, please prepare the preliminary plan. Because if you already prepared the preliminary plan, you already finish half of your work. And I always give practical life examples to my students. Here, I would also like to share. I always say to my student, whenever you will plan something and whenever you write down your plan in a paper format, half of the issues are already solved. Just while ago, I just shared the practical life example. I told to my student, please write down your problems. And no one is able to write the problems on the paper because there is no problems exist. Actually, we are just putting the problems in our mind. So same thing I am telling to my students, always write down the plan. Then once you write down the plan, set the small achievable goals. Practical life example, when I start doing my research, I said to myself, I know my capacity. I am going to review every day, just 3 papers. Not too much. Every day, just 3 papers. And then I practically figure out if I am reviewing any paper in a detailed way, how much time I need? Maximum 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I am able to understand the paper. I am able to understand the abstract. I am able to review the paper within a 5 to 7 minutes. So imagine in 5 minutes, I review one paper, other 5 to 7 minutes, another paper, other 5 to 7 minutes, another paper, and then I need maximum 10 to 15 minutes to write down the review, the literature review of those 3 papers. So within a 30 minutes, I am easily able to write down almost 3 papers review, which is more than the half page. And this goal is really achievable. And trust me, if you will follow this pattern within a 4 to 5 days, already the literature review will be finished. Already you able to review more than 30 research paper, and this give you a lot of motivation. Then Establish a routine. That's what I told you. Keep communicate. If you're writing thesis, communicate with supervisor. And in my case, whenever I'm reviewing the paper, I am just highlighting, or sometime there is a folder in my laptop, potential research topic. I am just writing down over there the potential research topics. Use tool to stay organized. Everybody uses some different kind of tools. I am uh, I am not so much IT kind of guy. So I am going to manual way, print out, highlighted terms, writing copy paste stuff in the Google, copy paste stuff in the Word documents, and don't isolate yourself. When you write down your starting points, once you already write down the topic of your research, you already have the headings, you're not going to be isolated. Feedback, if you finish, be open for the feedback. Flexible, take care of yourself, keep the bigger picture in the mind. And what is the bigger picture in the mind? Okay, whenever I am start writing any, okay, 5 7 years 8 years back, when I was joining the research in my early days, I always say to myself, oh, I just want to get my published this paper anywhere. I don't care what it will get published. Now after 7 years, I'm saying to myself, okay, this is my research goal. This is my research topic. Topic is very novel. Methodology is very novel. I really want to get published in Q1. So within a 7 year, there is a transition. 7 years back, I just want to get it published. Now I really want to get it published in some high ranked journal. So now focusing on the research, I keep my picture big. Then critical thinking, we already spoke. Critical thinking, most important factor here. Critical thinking at 360-degree theoretical aspect. Yes, guys, this is the most important phenomena. Focus on my words for a while. You guys will understand. A lot of research papers. I was speaking with very good professor, and I was speaking with the editor of very good reputable journal, and I asked him why of papers are getting rejected nowadays. And he told me a very clear picture, and he told me very, how you can say, the golden point, uh, you can say the rule of thumb, which he told me. He said like this: a lot of papers nowadays are rejected that the researchers abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, analysis, conclusion. A lot of researchers, they are just forgetting the aspect of the theoretical perspective. They are unable to highlight how and from where the core phenomena of their topic is originated in terms of theory, which core theory they are going to follow in their research. After their research outcomes, which theory is validated and which theory is not validated. So a lot of research paper nowadays, they are critically ignore the impact of theoretical perspective. I always say to my students one thing: whenever you are going to write about any research topic, always try to search the theories first. and read those theories. Read the definition of those theories in terms of those phenomena. For example, we already spoke about the poverty. So if it is my normal class, I will just say to my all student, open your phones. You already have the chat GPT. Just go into the chat GPT and just search what are the core theories of the poverty. And you are able to see 7 or 8 theories of the poverty. What are the core theories of climate change? You are able to see 5 or 7 theories. Theoretical evaluation of poverty. Go into the Google Scholar and search. Theoretical phenomena of climate change. Go Google Scholar, normal Google, read about those theories. So a lot of papers are nowadays are rejected just because of aspect that they are unable to explain the theoretical aspect. And theories help us to explain why and how certain phenomena is occurring, how and why certain phenomena is happening. So like, I was in my class and one of my student, she wanted to write about a very core topic. She wanted to write about the makeup industry in the United Arab Emirates. And I gave her a task, the challenges for the makeup industry in the United Arab Emirates. And I gave her task, please try to figure out the theoretical motives behind the fashion industry. And she figured it out, those theories. And these were really interesting theories, like how and why any multinational organization doing their makeup stuff marketing in the Dubai. So theoretical aspect is missing. So I always say to my students, please focus on the theoretical aspect. Okay, how can researcher truly think critically? There is a saying, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Curiosity. And curiosity always develop if we think critically, if we start thinking in every direction. A best example, all of you, if you are sitting in your room, ask yourself one question. Okay, I want to do the critical thinking. So what is the meaning of critical thinking? There are 4 sides of your room. So start thinking from every direction, right, left, or forward, backward, upward, downward. Critical thinking. From every angle, start doing critical thinking. Critical way of analysis. See, whenever you are reading some research paper, always try to read in a critical way. Are we questioning assumption or accepting them blindly? Example, poverty exists everywhere in this world. Okay. Am I really accepting this blindly, or am I question this assumption? Example, best example. Foreign direct investment reduces the poverty. Foreign direct investment reduces the poverty. Now, does foreign direct investment reduces the poverty in the high income countries? Answer is yes. In low income countries, answer is yes. In middle income countries, answer is yes. In middle income countries with the seaport, yes. But where is reduces the poverty with the more speed? In the middle income countries which have the seaport. And what is the speed of reducing the poverty by the FDI in landlocked countries? This is also assumption. This is also a question. Landlocked countries are countries which don't have access to any seaport. A critical way of thinking. So whenever you are reading, whenever you are reading, small suggestion, try to take the picture of this slide, try to print out this slide, and whenever you guys are reading any research paper, try to analyze this research paper in a critical way. Try to analyze all the statements, good research publications from 2025 in a critical way. Do we analyze evidence or just gather the information? Means, what is the meaning of this statement? Poverty, foreign direct investment reduces the poverty. I agree with this statement. Am I just gathering this information from the different research paper, or I am analyzing the evidences? What is the evidence? Seaports. What is the evidence? Landlocked country. What is the evidence? Middle income country. What is the evidence? High income countries. Then what is the evidence in terms of cities? Then what is the evidence in terms of the city which have high service sector, high industrial sector, or high agriculture sector? That is also the evidence. So now I need to analyze the thing in a more critical thing. Are we able to identify our own biases or own biases in interpretation? When you are evaluating any research, try to figure it out that this research is biased or validly acceptable. If there is any biasness exists, always questions the biasness. Do we synthesize diverse viewpoint or stick to the one viewpoint? No, always diverse. Always diverse. That's what I told a while ago. We need to think in a 360-degree angle in every direction in a very diverse way, not to the one point of view. Can we evaluate trustworthiness of the source and method? Best, best statement. That's why I always say to my students, whenever you are going to start doing your research, always figure it out. Who are the top 10 researchers in your field? Who are the top 10 researchers in climate change? Okay. For example, in terms of poverty, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Sen, Amataya Sen. He is one of the most best poverty economists, developing economists. I think 1991, 1992, he did his research, and he is the founder of Human Development Index. So in development economies, social economies, his name is on the top. Are we seeing the problem from all angles? The last point, 360-degree. Then let's move on. We already discussed this. Okay. Learning outcome through critical thinking. Exactly. Okay. I always say to my students, whenever you are doing any kind of your research, always go with the knowledge, skills, and social competencies. Let me explain in a detailed way. As we just discussed a while ago, I just told you that whenever you are doing any kind of research, try to figure it out. What is the practical implication? What can be the practical outcome of your research? Practical outcome of your research. Explaining in a detailed way. When you are doing your research, which kind of knowledge you are going to share with the world? Which kind of knowledge you are going to share with the world? Which kind of skills you are going to give this world? Which kind of, and skills mean you are going trying to solve some practical problem. You are trying to solve some complex phenomena, and you are trying to contribute. And whenever contribution arises means what is the social competency of your research, how the society can be benefited from your research. And this KSS, I always say to my students, whenever you are writing conclusion, even whenever you are analyzing any aspect, whenever you want to raise any question, always go, what is the knowledge behind it, what are the skills behind it, and what is the social competency of that particular phenomena. And it is really needed. Our world really needed the good researchers. Okay, type of research design. Now, question arises, sir, which kind of research I am going to do? Type of research design. What will be my research? I am not focusing on, because this presentation is a blend for everyone. Everyone can have benefit from this presentation. So type of research design: exploratory, descriptive, correlational, experimental, case experimental, longitudinal, cross-sectional, case study. I, in a common layman approach, I'm just going to share my experience. When I am conducting the research classes, when I'm conducting classes with my student, I always say to my student one thing. In this world, we have only two phenomena exist. Repeating again, in this world, we have only two phenomena exist. Technically, means one thing is increasing or other thing is decreasing, or both things are increasing or both things are decreasing, or either both things are constant. Either both things are constant. Some phenomena happens, means increasing, climate change happening, world climate is increasing, temperature is increasing, human lives are decreasing. It is negatively impacting on the human lives. Okay, so if we now, another phenomena, if we start safeguarding the climate change, if we will, definitely we cannot reduce the aspect of climate change, because our world is capitalistic world. What we can do, we can make the climate change speed little slower. I always say in my every seminar, in my every presentation, now we cannot finish this aspect, we can slow down the process. And best example, I was watching one small discussion about the doctor, and this doctor, and see, this doctor said very interesting phenomena, and then I try to incorporate this phenomena in the economics. And this doctor said, if somebody have the diabetes, and if this person is going to take if this person is going to take the uh, if this person is going to take the medicine of diabetes, so does his diabetes finishes? Answer is no, his diabetes is not finishing. What is happening? For having the high insulin, that diabetical effect in the body is become the slower down. So uh, that is what happening with the climate change. We uh, we cannot finish the impact of climate change. We can reduce or slow down the uh, slow down the phenomena of climate change. We can slow down the speed. I always say to my students, we cannot stop the melting ice, but but we can generate, or we can make such atmosphere that the phenomena of ice turning into water become the slower down. So this is something like the research design. Why I am explaining this phenomena, like in this word, if you are researching, like all of you here sitting, the researchers, so all of you is checking the impact of one phenomena on the other phenomena. You are checking the impact of one phenomena on the several other aspects. So that's how our research look like. And then exploratory research, you have some problem and you have some limited research. So you are doing the exploratory research. Okay, problems. A lot of problems existing. Yes, problems. I can give you the one best example of the problems. For example, a question. Uh, in every country, there is some kind of, especially in the European Union countries, there are some government institutions which are collecting the e-waste, electronic waste. But in the developing countries, there is no such phenomena exist, that there are some authorities collecting the e-waste. And there is a lot of charms exist if we will conduct the research in the different developed countries, and we will try to check, does the people have awareness of electronic waste or not. Very limited research conducted on these themes. You can also check this perception among the different cities: Mumbai, Agra, Bangalore, Kashmir, Srinagar. So different cities have the different perception, limited research. So I am doing exploratory research. Descriptive research, to describe the characteristics of population or phenomena, means uh, we speak about the poverty. Correlational means we are going to check the relationship between multiple variables. Experimental, to determine the cause and the effect relationship. Okay, cause and effect relationship. I was reading a very interesting, very interesting research, and it really opened my eyes. It was saying like this, that smoking harms. It is correct. Smoking harms. Everybody knows smoking harms. But when I was reading this research work, so it was like this, like 100 years back, a lot of farmers in the United States, they were growing a lot of tobacco. And to discourage the plantation of tobacco, and to encourage the plantation of sugarcane or sweet potato in order to make the sugar, they want to discourage the use of smoking. And now, because of using sugar, there is much adverse effect than smoking the cigarettes. So, but we are living in the capitalistic society. So, cause and effect relationship. Okay, quasi-experimental, to assess the causality without random assignment, meaning like this: I am just checking the random effect. I am just checking the random consequences of any phenomena. Longitudinal studies, to study change over time. What is the meaning of this? Uh, just just uh, just remember, longitudinal study. what is the meaning of longitudinal study? I'm going to give you the practical case example. Let's suppose foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment reduces the poverty in the high income countries. Repeating, foreign direct investment reducing the poverty in the high income countries. Okay. And now this study is already happened for the panel data analysis, panel data studies. And I am going to check this phenomena again for the high income countries, and I am just incorporating some other variables with my study. For example, I'm just going to incorporate globalization. I am just going to incorporate political structure. I am just going to incorporate education as a variable in my study. So I am going to figure out different variables, different variable magnitude of foreign direct investment. And then I can give my analysis that why poverty is much stronger or much higher reduction in terms of FDI under the shadow of education, under the shadow of globalization. So I can give my evidences with more, you can say, with more evidences. Cross-sectional studies to study the population at one point in the time. Cross-sectional study means I am just doing research of small community of Srinagar, community of Delhi, community of who is living on the seasides, communities who are living in other countries. And case study, same things. I am like, let me just give you the example. Case study, uh, small research topic which we can conduct. In Mumbai, there are a lot of people who are just collecting the electronic waste. So I'm just conducting their research, their interviews. I am just trying to figure out, are they really get any kind of sickness? Are they really get any kind of medical problems while collecting this e-waste? Because in every electronic waste there is some kind of elements which are uh, how you can say, which are radioactive elements which can impact on our health. So this is like a case study situation. So when you guys think in a critical way, you guys have some kind of good topic, just read which kind of research design you guys are going to follow, and then start looking for the literature. Then most important thing, we have some kind of data: qualitative data, quantitative data, primary data, secondary data. Okay. Qualitative data means I am going to collect data. I am going to collect data with the interviews. With the interviews, I am going to capture the phenomena. I am just going to capture the phenomena. One of my student, he is engaged in qualitative analysis of ESG implications on the airline industry. So he is just checking that from last 10 years, what are the implementation of sustainable flight system by the different airlines, top rank airline on the world. So he is doing the qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis, whenever you have the quantitative means numerical analysis, so you are going to play with the numbers. Okay, you are going to do the numbers, you are comparing the numbers, you are comparing the numbers, like if number 4, what is the impact on number 6? Okay, how 4 and 6 are related with each other, which value is coming big, which value is coming down. So you are going to play with the numbers. Primary data, Means collected firsthand by the researcher for the specific purpose, means a qualitative data when you are doing interviews, surveys, interviews, and secondary data which is highly available on the World Bank, United Nations website, WTO website, WHO website. So this kind of data is already collected by a lot of researchers, a lot of research institutes, I mean global research institutes, and you can really use this kind of data. For example, COVID data, best example, you have the best example. Government is collecting this kind of data. Next slide. Building a thesis strategy, critical thinking, formulation, implementation, evaluation. This is core strategic management topic. Formulation, implementation, and evaluation. So, formulation, when you are making your plan, 1 week to 4 weeks, even take more. I say to my student, even take 1 month or 2 months, doesn't matter. But you should have the solid research gap and solid plan. Solid research gap, feasible plan, and write down everything. And I always say to my student, there is a saying, if you write down the problem, half of the problem is solved. And I say to my student, if you write down your plan, your half of the thesis is finished. If you write down the plan of your paper, your half of the paper is finished, because right now you have the goal. You know what to do and how to do because you have plan in front of you. Implementation. Implementation means when you are writing your research paper. Okay, we already discussed, I already gave you the small tip. Don't, everybody knows their self. I know myself that sometime I'm not consistent, so I don't give a lot of high goals to myself. 3 paper in a 1 day, 5 to 7 minutes for one paper, review it, and then almost 15 to 20 minutes for writing half page. But must be consistent every day, whatever happens. Evaluations means when you finish your uh, for evaluation, I can give you the small tips which I always give to my students. When you write your first manuscript, whenever you write your first manuscript, your thesis, let's speak about the manuscript, the research paper. You write your first research paper, then just go to the Q1 journals, top high ranked journals of the world. Just print out those papers, 4 or 5 papers, and compare your paper with that particular paper. The writing style, the referencing style, the critical analysis style, the literature review style, and try to copy their formulation, try to copy their, I say copy is a very good thing because in the copy you're learning something. So copy their style, copy their pattern, critically analyze their pattern. And I always say to my student, please, once you finish your own research paper, try to become the editor of your paper. If you are the editor in the chief, and if this paper come in front of you, try to evaluate, does this paper have the theoretical review, does this paper have the good literature review with the current paper. Try to evaluate your paper by your own self. Once you will evaluate, you will know your mistakes. So in thesis writing, evaluation usually 1 to 4 weeks, and I always say in paper writing, 1 to 4 days for critical evaluation. And in the last conclusion, thesis writing or research is like a journey. I always say enjoy the journey and never feel discouraged. Trust me, even if you will get remarks, so much bad remarks from your supervisor, take it as like a learning process. Take it as like a learning process. Don't take as like a personal thing. Take it as like a learning process, because you already invest your time. And personal development, focus on the personal development. Consistency is the power. I always, whenever I'm sharing my journey with my students, I always say to my student, my biggest, I don't know, it is biggest problem in me, or biggest thing in me, biggest thing, I don't know, biggest quality or whatever, biggest aspect of my personality. I know I will get fail in a lot of things, but the most important thing, I am consistent. I am just work as like a chewing gum. I'm just doing again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again. And make your research work as, and your paper as like something like a knowledgeable stuff. Try to give some practical skills in your research work, and try to solve some social problem. So then only you can become the good researcher. So thank you so much from my side. Any
Thank you very much.
questions?
Yes, participants, you are welcome to open your mic, ask the question. You can raise your hand
I,
or you can write in
I
chat
can
box.
just I can just say one thing. The word is in the favor of bolds. Be bold, be bold. Speak up. Question is question. There is nothing like this stupid question, bad question, good question, very good question. Speak up. Just speak up. If you have any question, just speak up. If you not speak up over here, so when you will going to speak? So just speak up.
I think they do not have any question. So,
Okay.
so it seems that they were quite interesting, passionately learning today new things. And
Hello.
yes,
Hello.
please go ahead.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you
Yes,
are
Miss Jyoti.
audible.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti. I'm from India. And thank you so much, sir. You explain everything very nicely.
Thank
So
you
you
so
are
much.
having feedback, not question.
No, I have the
Okay.
question. I have the
Yes,
question.
yes,
Okay,
Sure,
my
please go
sure.
question.
ahead.
Yeah. My question is, sometimes we are dealing with the novelty aspects of some our research. Whenever we put the submission, reviewer asks for the novelty in our research work. So how to deal with that particular novelty? However, we have done a lot of research gap or something, but still there is a work, there is a need to do more work on the novelty issue. So how to deal with it?
Okay, okay. I can tell you my personal experience. Okay. See, I can tell you the small tip for that, okay, which I follow. It will be really beneficial for you. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
My small tip, whenever I am submitting my research paper somewhere, so when you will go for the automatic system, okay, when you go for the automatic system, you see, you just upload your this your research paper, okay, and
Okay.
after that there is a two things. There is a sometimes there is a one box, or there is a two box, and one box is like notes to the editor,
Yes.
notes to the editor. My suggestion, personal life experience, always try to write one or two lines what you did in this research, okay? What you did in this research, 2 lines, and the next 2 line right after to this, dear editor, this research work will fill the gap in the existing literature by this novel approach. In 1, 2, or 3 lines, you describe your novelty. Okay, why? Why? See, first of all, when you are submitting your paper, once editor receive this paper automatically in the system, okay, try to think from the editor shoes. Editor just received the paper, editor just reading the topic, okay, in the topic he is unable to read the novelty. Editor just read the abstract, he is reading tons of abstract every day.
Yes.
Then there is a PDF and the Word file of your document, author name. And after that, in the last column, he can easily see the comments. And in the comments, you already mention your novelty, which is already mentioned in the paper. So now the novelty is more clear for the editor. And on that time, editor is not going to overlook your novelty. It's definitely going to give you the importance of your paper because something is in front of him. And I can also tell you my personal approach. Okay,
Okay.
in my research paper, whenever I am writing the novelty, I am writing the research gap. So I always write like this. This paper this paper filled the research gap in a multiple way, comma. Now I am writing in an Italian style in inverted commas the novelty. So
Okay.
everything is visible in front of the editor.
Okay.
I
You
hope
mean to say it should be reflect in cover letter also, as well as in comment, or as well as in our introduction section also.
exactly. Whenever you are reading, don't do the traditional thing that the copy paste the cover letter and just forwarding.
Yes.
No, try to bring some novelty in your cover letter.
Yeah.
Okay, sir,
Yes.
I am working on this research paper from last 2 months. Okay, I use this kind of data and the novelty of this paper. Then mention the novelty of your paper clearly to him. Don't write cover letter like this that I would like to submit my paper in your journal. Journal name this and below is the abstract. No, 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 no.
Okay.
Okay, try to
Yeah.
submit in a such way.
Yeah.
Communication
Thanks a lot.
matters.
Thanks a lot. Thank
Yes,
you.
any
Thank you
other
so
questions?
much.
You're welcome.
Somebody has
Any other
raised the
questions?
hand. Finally,
Hello, sir. Good evening. Am I audible?
Good evening.
Sir,
Yes.
actually, I don't know, is this the right platform? But I would like to express one thought regarding research articles. Actually, I'm very new to this writing research articles for high journals.
Mhm.
So, what challenges I generally faces if I'm taking a particular topic which is very new, uh, and too many papers are not written in that particular topic. So when such articles I'm trying to write, I'm getting diverted or confused, like how I have to progress in my research or writing the paper for a high reputed journals. So, is there any way that I can find some key criteria in giving a right direction to my research articles when the topic is very new?
Okay, the topic is very new. Okay,
Yes.
so okay, okay. So see, if the topic is very much new, then I can tell you small tips. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
for me, when the topic is so much new, so you have a lot of, first of all, when the topic is new, try to write the heavy, theoretical part. Repeating
Okay.
again, try to write heavy theoretical part. Okay, meaning for that particular new topic, what theory is suggesting you, and then when you are writing the literature review part, your literature review will become so much small. Maybe you
Yes.
will just able to give the reference of 7 to 8 papers or 10 papers, because your topic is so much new. Giving you the
Yes.
practical life example, AI challenges in ethical way, AI challenges in an ethical way in the corporate. You can find a lot of paper on this theme, but these papers are written on the hypothetical data.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hypothetical data. You're not going to find this kind of paper written on the practical data, because AI is not fully implemented in the corporate sector because of security and ethical concerns.
Yes.
So in this kind of data, in this kind of paper, what you can do, you have to write the heavy theoretical part, that theory of institution theories exists, stakeholder theory exists, ethical theories are existing, then theory of endogeneity, exogeneity exists, technology exists. You have a huge theoretical, uh, like a theoretical aspect. And when you're writing the theoretical aspect, try to connect the theoretical aspect in a way. In 1970s, this theory is invented. In
Okay.
1996, 1998, internet is coming. Then this theory start validating because internet is coming. And now there is a AI. So it might possible that I can implement those theories in AI context. And then
Yes.
you are going to show that, okay, this is the new phenomena. A very few existing literatures are exist. In one line you already mentioned theories are heavy. You already mentioned very few existing literatures are exist, and then point down in chronicle orders: 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, which research, even hypothetical research, are exist. So on that time your paper will be automatically heavy, because you put the high ingredients of the theoretical aspect.
Yes,
I
sir.
hope I give the answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So somewhere these papers will be majorly depending upon the theory part, and if
Exactly.
we are adding the timeline or an evolution of it, that will give a probably a direction to the paper.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if I were on your place, I am going to make one theoretical framework diagram.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Sure.
I am going to connect different theories together. And then I am clearly explain the novel approach, the novel framework of the paper. Clearly, novel framework. Five
Mhm.
theories connecting together, down to the box, novel framework, and then I am going to highlight what is my novel variable.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, any other questions?
Yes, may I go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, I have a question. Like, as we were talking about novelty right now, a while ago, and we were discussing that, the ideas we have to prove them novel by the different theories that have been there. But many a times, sir, it happens that we get limited research literature regarding some idea which is kind of quite noble or something like that. For example, during
That's
COVID eras and all, then it is very difficult for a new researcher. Like, I am very new to research world. I'm learning, I'm growing day by day. So if even if I have some idea, I have one paper which is tossing between the publishing houses. So I'm like looking forward that how to prove that my work is actually authentic and it's a good research, just that there is
okay.
limited research. Yes, sir. So
Okay. Okay.
I hope you
Now,
got.
yes, I got your point now. Now try to figure. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Giving
I.
you the best example. Let's suppose your your phenomena is about let's suppose your phenomena is A, and A is really new. A is really new,
Hmm.
and you are unable to find any any paper based on A phenomena. So if I were you, you know what I will do? I am going to find the phenomena which are similar to A, which are similar to A, and I am going to highlight what those researcher mentions the phenomena which is similar to A. Okay. And then if I am able to find similar phenomena which are similar to A, means A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, means I already have the 10 similar phenomena. Then the last paragraph I will write like this: as the above mentioned authors unable to explain clearly phenomena A. That is why my research work appeared to be novel under the shadow of this theory.
Yes, yeah, this makes sense. I'll add all these what you have suggested, and I'll also write a note to the editor. Perhaps that will help me. Thank you so much for the insights.
You should see,
Yes, I'll do that.
whenever you are doing, imagine I'm giving you practical example. Okay, let's suppose you are the senior professor in one university. You are also the handling editor of one big Q1 journal. Imagine you have all the time meetings in the university. You have all the time students under you supervision. You have tons of emails in your mailbox, and you are the editor. You have an editor need to take decision in maximum 30 seconds, not even 1 minute. In 1 minute, I can read a lot of things. He have to take the decision in 30 seconds. So you need to be precise, clear in your novel term, and how you can show. Definitely, you already mentioned your novelty in the paper, but how you can show your novel things in the communication. Put in your email, put in the notes to the editor, put in the reference letter. What is highly novel? So that you have to sell yourself in 30 minutes. You have to sell your paper in 30 seconds. Sorry, 30 seconds. Your opportunity window is 30 seconds. So
30.
imagine in 30 seconds, you need to mention your novelty.
Okay, so just last one thing. We also may have to many a times upload a cover letter with the research paper, title page, and so many things. So in the cover letter also, do you think I should mention one line or?
To be very honest, I never upload the cover letter. Never. I was doing 3 years back. Now I'm not doing. I am just copy paste the cover letter is that much big. Make it concise. Dear editor, I would like to submit my research based on this novel phenomena. the novelty of this research paper is based on this. 2-3 lines. He don't have time. Editor really don't have time. Do you really think a senior professor who is the editor of the big journal going to read all the cover letters? No.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
No. So your paper selling window is 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you need to mention your novelty.
Got it, sir. Thank you. We have to be crisp.
So thank you very much. We would like to take 3 questions now. If you quickly have
Yes, sir.
three
Please.
important questions, we can take them. After that, we are going to wind the session. So, dear professor, you can stop sharing. You can set up your
Okay.
presentation. Yes.
Oh,
So, dear participants, please go ahead with your questions. But ask important questions, serious questions. So please go ahead with your questions if you are having any doubt. There is Mr. Jagdish. Which are the best? Has deleted it? Yeah.
yes. Any question? I'm here. No problem. Sir, give the link of, okay, non-paid journals. Okay, for economics, there are a lot of journals. Okay, one tip for you, all of you. Okay, one tip for all of you guys. Uh, a lot of journals, focus on my words, a lot of journals, they are high rank, good journals which have low APC charges. Even some journals are free. Okay, try to search out the journals of European and Latin American universities. I'm repeating again. Try to figure out the journals of European and Latin American universities. Those journals are usually financed by the governing bodies of the universities. They are they sometimes have really low APC charges, sometimes they are free, and they are indexed in Web of Science and good databases. So go for those journals, and they because a lot of less people know about those journals. So once you submit your paper, there is a high chances that your paper will be go for the review. Second most important thing which I really want to share, if you will go for the Springer, Elviser, InterScience journals, these are publishing houses. Even they are the high profile, high rank index, but people are submitting their journals from all over the world. If you will go for any journal which is a university financed journal, university local department journal, but indexed in Web of Science, so you will really get a lot of chances. And now question how I can uh, how you can search the journal. So best thing, go to the Web of Science website. Over there is a link of search for the journals. click click over there for specific countries like Czech Republic, like Greece, like Lithuania, Latvia, like Spain, like Portugal, like France, and then you will see there is a link of their university journals, and try to submit your paper over there, and those journals are also indexed in Web of Science. What should we do if we don't have much literature in the area of study? I already gave the answer. Try to find the related area, similar area. Let's suppose, giving you the best life example. When COVID-19 came, COVID-19 was very new phenomena, like pandemic crisis. Okay. And On that time, a lot of papers they published their COVID-19 papers. A lot of people they use, even I publish a paper on the on COVID-19, and I used the proxy for the COVID-19 as a communicable diseases, the diseases which are easily communicate to one person to another person, easily attack, easily like a transferable diseases. So I have used the proxy for COVID-19 for a such this. So you can always use the similar phenomena if the literature is not existing, and then clearly mention as in paper A, B, C, D, E, F, the writers unable to address this A phenomena. So that is why my paper filled the gap in the existing literature by adding this novelty like this. So everything will be clear. So you can proceed in a such way.
So, dear participants, thank you very much. Now, let me give formally the vote of thanks for today's session and for the whole workshop. As you are not having now question, then I will close in between the recording and we will discuss about certificate and other guidelines. So, I would like to share my heartfelt gratitude to esteemed guest, Dr. Like Janju, for sharing
Thank you,
his
sir.
rich research expertise and informed us in a very detailed manner ABCD of the research strategies, how to approach editors, what research techniques or what research methods we should follow up. I highly appreciate your valuable time and accepting our request to contribute in our 7-day workshop. We are very thankful for you. I would also like to thanks to Khairul Samar for helping us to moderate this session. So we are very thankful, dear professor. So now let me
Thank
take
you
the
so much.
opportunity to share the formal vote of thanks of whole workshop. So dear participants, let me share good evening to every one of you. So it is on behalf of Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for participating in this 7-day online research methodology workshop in econometrics. As we wrap up today, this insightful journey, I would like to express a special thanks to all moderators, resource persons. Their expertise and dedication have made this workshop not only educational, but also truly, an inspiring journey for all of us. They have helped us deepen our understanding of key econometric concepts by providing practical tools for our research endeavors. I would like to, share my powerful quote from one of the great scientists, Albert Einstein. The only source of knowledge is experience. Let me repeat again. The only source of knowledge is experience. So this workshop has been a wonderful experience for all of us. We have combining theory with practice to occupy us for the challenges of econometric research. So it is a learning we should, passionately follow research again and again. Single workshop cannot help us to, deepen ourselves. So we have to be passionate and we have to follow up all the, research recordings to practice and, get yourself, learn more about this econometric tools and techniques. So thank you all to participants for your engagement and thoughtful contributions throughout the session. We hope that the knowledge gained here will continue to guide, inspire us in our research journeys. As we conclude, let us remember the best way to predict is to create it. So therefore, you are lucky. Your universe is very big. Globe is very big. India is having too much population, China and all. But you are lucky selected participants who got this opportunity to enroll in this workshop. So I hope you have learned a lot. So you are, I hope that this knowledge which we have gained here to continue guide and inspire us. So therefore, the best way, as I have told you, we have to predict ourselves. We have to ask ourselves the question that in next 5 years or 3 years, what will be our position, where we are heading to. So let us continue to learn, grow, and contribute to the ever evolving field of econometrics. We can, also add to research. So thank you once again to everyone who made this workshop a great success. Thank you very much. Please go ahead one by one if anyone is.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity, and I am really grateful for giving us an insight about what econometrics is all about. I had the theoretical knowledge about it, but how to use using through softwares, and I was little scared also using. Didn't have much idea. I had only idea about SPSS, but now I have idea about Stata and about eViews. So by the end of the workshop, I'm feeling motivated and powered by the by the tools, software packages that have been provided, and also I'm thankful for providing all the materials that have been provided, and all the persons who came to speak, they gave a lot of information about how to use the tools. Being a research scholar, it is very important that how to go about with your PhD, and with so many tools available with you, and which is the right tool for you. And also thank you for conducting such a workshop for students like us. And thank you again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. We are glad. So next, who wanna go? So I think people are afraid to speak. So it is right
Good evening,
opportunity
sir.
to. Yes, please go ahead.
Can I speak, sir?
Thank you, all team members uh, who organized that wonderful session, wonderful workshop, and provide a very knowledgeable resource person and give proper knowledge of econometrics. I suggest one thing. You will be arranged further one big workshop like 1 month or 2 months for whole econometrics program, because that subject is very useful, and that provides lot of opportunity to that people. Thank you for this workshop. Thank you all team member, all resource person who give the proper time and proper their work. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Firdaus sir. Thank you, all team members.
Thank you, dear Jagdish. We will, definitely look for different series. 1 or 2 months is, too lengthy, but we will be breaking down, workshops like will be next time focusing, let's suppose, only on time series. So next will be only on panel data. So yes, your feedback is well taken. Thank you very much. So next.
Sir, I would also agree with the same thing that, the sessions were very coherently arranged. It was very good, very insightful. But now I feel that over 5-6 we have got so many things to revise. You have shared the handouts also, which I just scrolled in the WhatsApp chat, which will be good for us. But then, we need to expand this session, as you were talking, that, maybe for time series separate, cross sectional separate, and so on, then it will be more practically applicable to all of us. We'll continue using it.
Thank you for your pointers. Yes. So anybody want to go to next? So we can take 1 or 2 more if you are interested.
Yes, Sushma here.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir, for the session. It was really enlightening. And one suggestion I would put is that, sir, when we are doing this kind of workshop now, like I know it's very time consuming, 2 hours, everybody is trying to rush up, to finish the topics, which is very large and all that. Time series took 2 days, panel and all that thing. I'll agree with that thing. So if we can arrange it in a very time space manner, and if like Minakshi ma'am's class session was, I also enjoyed very thoroughly because she did it from the scratch, from data scrapping to extraction and then all that thing. If we put equal emphasis on theory as well as this hands-on session, then that would be very great. And regarding, yes, if you are dedicating a workshop only to panel, time series, and cross sectional, that will be really great. So overall, I enjoyed this workshop, and all the thanks to the efforts that you have put in your entire team. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So we can take last one. If anybody is willing, we can take last one.
Good evening, sir. This is Sujata Kumari.
Good evening.
Sir, the 7 days workshop on econometrics is very nice sessions. All the resource persons are very intelligent on. They are give suggestion more and more about the research, time series on time series, span and data, and cross-sectional data. So, sir, I really enjoy the workshop. I want to more workshop. Please organize next time to more workshop on econometrics. I little bit I have doubt on econometrics, so I want the most workshop. So thank you so much, sir. Firdous sir.
So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you very much. So anybody wants to? So because I am going to close the recording.